In understanding the continuation of frequencies and just how much all of us are impacted, and for the most part, how little we really know, particularly if you live in more westernized cultures. When it comes to things of, you know, spiritual, metaphysical, religious, um, for the most part, Western culture is very ignorant. Um, and you see it all the time. But let's get into this a little bit more because I believe this is going to help all of us. Our bodies are governed by frequencies, vibration, harmonics. They're all a set subset. And when you begin to understand this, and you begin to understand that your organs, your cells are very much affected by harmonics, frequencies, vibrations. Remember, your brain is impacted and affected by electromagnetism. You can get into places where there can be a strong EMV field, and it'll have an impact on your emotions. So all of this is connected. Again, understanding how your brain actually processes and when it receives the impulses back in. And as you can see, sonification, audification, music and sound, video, motion, these visual and hearing senses really do have a hierarchy in impacting who you are. Again, I think this is important to understand that all of our bodies, it's not only that we have to fight off, the normal things, viruses, bacteria, but now we have to start fighting off additional things coming out of the sky. And all of these affects the organs, but I'm going to show you a way of how we can begin to turn this around. So understand why stress and emotions really impact every organ in your body. When you yell at a spouse, your blood pressure increases. There are chemicals being released into the brain. It affects every organ in your body. And you're going to find out in this video just how important words really are because they carry a frequency. So understand that the biggest problem most of us have is this right here, the stress, the emotions, everything else. So understanding where we stand in frequencies, you can see when you begin to understand where these frequencies are at, it begins to help you process how you can become more in control. I always like to do this. I found this really good. If you start basically giving yourself zones, I don't know if you do this. Years ago, I taught sales to corporations, and one of the courses that we spent a whole day on was understanding auditorial responses and how you can manipulate those, how you can control those. And one of the things is that most people do not have control of their emotions. The side effect, I think, with all the pacification of society through drugs, whether they be antipsychotic, antidepressant, anti-anxiety, whatever, is that you cannot suppress an emotion in thinking that by suppressing it, it's going to go away. No, it's going to show up somewhere else. So if you begin to get yourself some zones in here and understand where each zone is, you begin to understand this is the first step of monitoring your frequency. There are machines out there. Now, I back in 1992, contracted spinal meningitis and Lyme's disease. And when I came out of the coma, I was paralyzed on the right side of my body. Now, back in that time, it was really kind of new science, and, it was called a TENS unit. But I can tell you it worked. And today I have no effects of it all. So there is devices that you can do that you can begin to get some biofeedback on. And there's other ones. All right, talk about the emotional energy center of the body. Everything, folks, everything has cause and effect. You see how this works? Right. All right. The same thing with pressure points. Pressure points on the body have effect on the body and the brain. The law of vibration. Let's discuss this. The third of the 7 universal laws tells us that nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. The third and last of the immutable universal laws tell us that the whole universe is but a vibration. Science has confirmed that everything in the universe, including you, is pure energy vibrating at different frequencies. Everything that we experience with our 5 physical senses is conveyed through vibrations. The same applies to the mental realm. Your thoughts are vibrations. All your emotions are vibrations, where unconditional love and the sense of love for another is the highest and most suitable of the emotional vibrations, and hate is the densest and most base. You can learn to control your mental vibrations at will. And this goes with healing as well. I think that there's just a lot of people who are just broken souls. And if they could learn to heal their souls, then the emotions follow, and then the body will respond to that. It actually is. When you begin to think about the brain and the 4 states that you and I, who knows, maybe animals, you can see everything is to a cycle and to a frequency. The Schumann resonance. Remember, I spoke about this. Again, this is becoming amazing as to the interaction and correlation between frequency, the brain, mental health, and physical health. Here's a chart that shows at different frequencies how it can affect the body. Look at that. 2 megahertz, nerve regeneration. 7, bone growth. 10, ligament healing. 15 and 20, stimulation of capillary formation. I actually have a device that is a sonic frequency machine that I can actually put over my body and adjust the different tone. It works. I once heard as well of many people who were close to death that learned the secret of this. One individual apparently laughed himself back to health watching the Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers. Who would have thought? But again, you can see how everything is affected. Now here's something that's really interesting. So here is an actual reading of a healer laying hands on another person. And look at this. Is there something to the laying on of hands? I think there are. I've actually benefited from that. 7 subtle vibrations. It's like, if you have a vibration, a frequency has a vibration has a harmonic. Look at this. And I covered this the last time, but I really think it's important that you and I could possibly be hypnotized without us even knowing it. I don't know about you, but it gives the whole idea of a tin hat, doesn't it? Again, this is an EEG brain frequency chart, and you can see that the different states, the conscious, the gateway to the subconscious, and unconscious. Alpha, theta, beta, alpha, theta, delta. Now, if you want to know how your memory works, they can actually put it to a circuit board, because that's where they got it from, was you and I. All right, so check this out. Look at the thyroid. Again, each organ of the body has a corresponding frequency. Think about this, folks. We're just not taught these things. And the thing about it is that we live in today, virtually there's probably no place you can escape from. Maybe Antarctica, where we're not living in a pollution of frequencies. You know, it's no wonder that cancer, these crazy diseases having with children, unheard of in times past, are happening. It's because our bodies are trying to figure out all of this. And if you can get that balance, you can get that control, there is documented immediate beneficial evidences to your body. So look at this. Certain viruses, I kid you not, look how they respond and emit certain frequencies. There is an answer here to cure every disease. You know, this is how they do it. They measure every aspect of the brain. Folks, you are more unique and beautiful than what you can imagine. Again, we talked about being hypnotized unaware through frequencies. They can do the same thing through electronic weapons. I'm going to show you those again. So let's look at some facts. Number one, electromagnetic fields have variable energies and frequencies. Earth has a natural frequency. The heartbeat has an electrical impulse. The brain waves has an electromagnetic signal. Now, this Dr. Robert Becker has done a lot of work in this area, and a lot of his findings have been what has led many others to continue to pursue this. For those of you who are into the essential oils, hey, listen, there's a lot to this, folks. It helps. It helps heal. Listen, the ancients knew this. The people who had to learn to heal themselves by what nature provided, and Earth does provide. Earth will provide everything that the body needs to heal itself. And chemicals are not it. That's why I'm so anti-big pharma. They're not there to help anybody. How about the jackass that you know that got the patent on the EpiPens? Yeah, isn't he just a real sweetheart? You know, there's going to be a very special place, I'm sure, for individuals like that feed upon humanity. Again, look at this, folks. Everything has a frequency. Everything. Here you go. Again, each one for different parts of organs, all the way down to the cells. They've mapped it out so well that it's not even a pseudoscience anymore. Look at this. It can, everything, as I said, everything has it. And look at here, the food we eat. I mean, you know, when you think about it, our bodies are actually made up of the dead. Yeah. Because we go back to the ground and we come from the ground. That means you carry a part of every person who's ever lived. And if you can begin to understand again the different levels of frequencies, and you can study these, you can begin to understand how this can actually help you. Here are frequencies that have tones, that have harmonics. If you play an instrument, you know chords, right? Chromatic scale, no different. Earth has a harmonic spectrum. There are ley lines in the planet that you could probably take yourself to if you were in need of a healing. There is so much that if you would begin to understand, as I keep trying to tell you, we're all connected, and we're connected by frequencies, emotions. I'm going to show you here how you can actually measure it. Again, this is from laying on of hands. There is a recordable difference. Now, you may have your own opinion, but I think there's good validation to this. Again, your emotions affect how you feel and how the vibration goes. Look at here. Loudness. As you can see, these are all in the area of frequencies. They impact you. Colors produce frequencies. If you are having certain, I don't know, this is what I do know. Think about painting in your house a room that has a color that gives a correspondence response to your body and your emotions. It works, folks. Here's another thing. Think about the heart. The heart is more powerful than the brain. The heart is about 100,000 times stronger electrically and up to 5,000 times stronger magnetically than the brain. And if you start connecting this to the organs, controlling the frequency, you see, I think that there's within us that unknown frequency that very few are aware of. As you awake and you become aware, this is part of the process. So the principles of resonance, it goes all the way down to the cellular level. You, me. Look at here. We can measure the heart rate in frequency, in frustration and appreciation. Professional athletes, they're learned this. Pilots, Top Gun, top military are taught this. There are machines that you can buy that can actually help you in the healing process of using frequencies. Now, the whole point is to understand the more that you're able to live and coexist at a higher vibration with your environment, it's going to have a direct impact on you. Look at this. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Whoa! So the whole point is really to kind of connect to the source. You know, I'm showing you this so that you can take the frames that you want. But if you really have health issues, you know, the most wealthiest person in the world is the one who has his health. Everything, folks, has a frequency. Everything. Did you know that the high-quality essential oils can help you vibrate at higher frequencies? Try the experiment. It works. That's why meditation, prayer is so important. Did you know that water, different types of water, have different frequencies? Again, diseases. All of this, folks, is to show you there are benefits. Here's one I found on wind turbines. Who would have thought, but it doesn't surprise me. I'm speaking about how they use frequencies as weapons. Well, here's the lard. You don't want to get in front of one of these. This is how they affect, and they know this. This is how they can use these weapons. I always like this one. Consider that music contributed greatly to health. If used at the right way, I think he called his method musical medicine. To the accomplishments, his followers would sing in unison. I'm sorry, I was just carried back about concerts. I remember when I was at an Eagles concert. Folks, it works. It really does. And you've experienced it. When you hear a song and you start singing, it changes your body. It changes the frequency. And if you can understand this, it has tremendous benefits to you. Did you know your voice, how you speak, has different effects? My dog knows this. It has impact on you. Here I thought was real interesting. This is a brain scan of a person when they were just thinking normally, and then when they were in prayer. Yeah, it changes things. Reiki has a teaching. First degree is introduced the learner to energy healing as well as Reiki history and practice. The first degree teaches the hand positions. One can then heal oneself, family, and friends, as well as pets, plants, and trees. I know it sounds weird, but folks, let me tell you something. They got complete programs on frequency, helping different parts of the body. We live in a vast ocean of sound. It's everywhere, folks, and that sometimes is what happens. So here is a good chart. You can see it for yourself. You begin to learn. This gentleman, this doctor, was another one of these, fringe doctors, or so he was called, but the man knew things. And he was right. Your body is like a symphonic orchestra. Each cell possesses its own natural resonance, contributing to the harmonic of your health. And foods, what we take in, our environment. There's just sometimes people who are just have bad frequency, and you just got to get away from those people. Change your vibration, change your life. Isn't that the truth? I'm here to change the world, and I'm not alone. I bet you're part of that. I hope this helped. I know it was a little long, but I had a lot of requests for this, so you asked for it, you got it. All right, be kind to one another. Find your frequency. Get stronger. And then teach others. All right, be kind.